Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode from the Defining Wellness Confab. I'm Denise O'Malley, your host and the founder of You Define Wellness. And as I'm sure that you've seen, if you watched other videos within our series, you know that what I'm doing is I'm bringing to you over a period of 8 days, 49 incredible presentations from a number of our network providers. And the reason for this is I want to introduce you to my friends and those who are in our provider network, so that if you're looking to find your direction in your healthcare, that here are people that you can get to know through these videos. And today I am delighted to introduce you to Melove Tindall, who with Inner Soundness, and she is one of our providers. We're going to be talking a lot about hypnotherapy today. Melove, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I want to hear from you what it is that you do. So can you share that real quick?
Well, helping people with many different things. People think of hypnotherapy for stopping smoking or weight loss or certain fears and phobias. And I go a little beyond that in helping people with finding self-esteem, confidence, helping them with the negative chatter and beating themselves up so they can start finding value and being able to let go of any guilt, any kind of forgiveness that's needed. So I do more of the much deeper work than just the stopping smoking and weight loss, even though I do that. But yeah, I do much more than that.
And you use the modality of hypnotherapy, correct?
Hypnotherapy is one of my modalities.
Okay.
One of many modalities. I am also a master NLP practitioner, and I've created many different techniques in order to help people go above and beyond just hypnotherapy or NLP. Because I found that when people are dealing with stress or any kind of traumas, they can feel that stress and tension in their body whenever they think of a memory or think of an event or a person, place, whatever that may be. And as long as they're feeling that in their body, they still haven't gone through the healing. And so in order to help them with that healing process, I created techniques to help release the muscle memory. So it's the cellular release, and it helps then your neural pathways to start firing differently. And that's when we're going to start reframing and helping you to feel better. So I created a whole bunch of techniques to accommodate that along with hypnotherapy.
Okay, I'm excited to hear about those. But let's talk first. What is hypnotherapy? Because I believe that there's a lot of misconceptions about it.
Right? There's such a mystery on TV and on entertainment and movies, and they make it look like we have superpowers.
You're getting sleepy. You're going to quack like a duck. No, that's something different.
So, we don't take people's free will away like you would see in stage hypnosis, because it does make it look like we're taking people's free will away, and we can't do that because that would be superpowers. And unfortunately, we don't have superpowers. And if we could have those type of superpowers, we would not have to work. We just tell people heal. You know,
magic wand. There you go.
It will be a magic wand, right? No, the reason with hypnotherapy, the reason it works is we're working on the subconscious level where your subconscious is heightened and you are more suggestible. But people, what does that mean? Well, when you're watching a movie and you just relax and enjoy the movie, that movie can invoke emotions. It can make you cry, it can make you angry, it can make you laugh. The movie itself is fake and it's actors and actresses, but yet if you're enjoying the movie, it can invoke these emotions.
Right.
So if you can enjoy a movie, you can be hypnotized. And if you're enjoying a movie, you are suggestible. Some people don't like the word suggestible because it just sounds like you're weak. But it's not. It means that you are actually highly intelligent and are very creative and can use your imagination. And it's people like that are great, with hypnotherapy. It works really, really well for them.
Wonderful. Now, you also mentioned NLP. I know what NLP is, but why don't you explain it for those who don't?
NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. And I don't know if many people don't know this. NLP and hypnotherapy are very, very similar. So I look at NLP more like waking hypnosis. So you'll see they're one of the most popular person that is an NLP practitioner is Tony Robbins. He is an NLP practitioner. So he's doing very similar things that you would do in hypnotherapy, yet you're not using hypnosis as in relaxing and going into that sleep heightened type of state. You're doing it actually as a waking hypnosis. So that's the difference between NLP and hypnotherapy. So I'm able to utilize NLP and utilizing that to help with the muscle memory when I'm doing that work. So I do a lot of NLP when I'm working with the muscle memory.
So one question that came to me, because I know I've had years of sales training from every company I'd ever been with and doing it on my own as well. NLP is something that they integrated in. So one of the things that I have heard from people is that some of these techniques can feel manipulative if used improperly. Do you have anything that, this is just a question that came to me. Any comment about that?
I know the way I've been taught and the way I utilize it is it's all in the benefit of the client. So I'm not going to do anything that's going to hurt the client, or I'm not going to manipulate the client. I don't do anything the client doesn't want. Just like I mentioned with hypnotherapy, I can't take people's free will away. So I can't help people stop smoking if they don't want to stop smoking. They have to want it.
Right.
So if they want it, yes, I am going to use suggestions and different techniques within hypnotherapy and NLP to accommodate that.
Yeah.
So yes, is it manipulative? I guess in a way, but not in a way that's going to hurt someone.
And I wanted to make that point very clearly, because I think there are some people out there who are afraid of trying things that they may have heard something negative about a modality and that it's false. And that we need to tell them the truth about how it actually gets used and how we work with it. So how did you get into this field?
Okay, well, that's a long story. I went through my own healing process through meditation. And I've gone through my own journey of life, right? All the ups and downs and different traumas that we all go through in life. And, I've gone through some severe traumas in my childhood and went through life trying to be somebody that people would like, to get that acceptance from other people, that approval. And it was because I didn't feel good enough about myself, right? I didn't have that worth and value in me. And so when I came across meditation, I didn't know anything about meditation. I thought, well, I'm Asian, I should know something about meditation, So I thought, why not? Let me try it.
Okay, that was stereotypical there. Okay.
So I started meditating and found so much healing through meditation in learning forgiveness and being able to see so much broader perspective of life instead of just in my own little shell, and went through a lot of healing, and I knew how beneficial meditation was. So I started working with teenagers as a volunteer and helping them with self-esteem and confidence and so forth. And when I got tired of working for corporate America and wanted to do something on my own, I didn't know what that was. And somebody said, why don't you do guided meditation for a living? And I thought, because I have bills to pay.
Okay, good point.
And then I came across hypnotherapy, and I thought, just like what everybody thinks, when they see hypnotherapy, they're like, oh, make people bark like a dog, cluck like a chicken. I thought that would be such a fun job. So I checked out a intro class to hypnotherapy to see what it was about. And I was sitting there going, wait a minute, all we're doing is guided meditation. When are we going to do hypnosis? And they're like, are you familiar with it? And I was like, yeah, I've been doing that for the last 8 years. And they're like, you've been doing hypnotherapy. So then it's like, there it is. That's what I'm going to do for my living. And I went back to school in order to be certified to practice hypnotherapy.
Wow.
So now and then I get to use it, and I created a whole bunch of modalities that's helped me. So I tried to duplicate my own process of what I went through in order to help people. And so I've created all these different modalities to help people.
Okay, so talk about those. What do you mean you've created your own modalities?
So when you're thinking about working with the subconscious, and they say some people are auditory learners, some people are visual learners, some people are kinesthetic learners. And I thought, well, if I can use all of the senses, how deeper will those impressions be made? So I created techniques where I'm going to utilize all the senses, including smell. The smell is one of your strongest senses that you have. So
Yeah.
I made techniques that's like play therapy, and I'm utilizing a whole bunch of techniques, including smell, to make the changes and shifts in the traumas and things, and to release that trauma in their muscle memory, the cellular release. And as I was doing that, once I start having them feeling better, I then anchor the scent to the feeling that they want, whether it's just inner peace, calmness, being grounded and balanced, whether it's happiness, whatever those things that we're trying to shift, I use the scent to anchor that. And then they are able to take the scent with them to reinforce that feeling, to make that feeling more and more regular, normal. So that's just one of the techniques.
I'm fascinated by your concept of using all the senses in your healing process. And I'm one of those, I've done a lot of public speaking, and I remember a few speeches, and people accuse me of speaking too fast when I'm doing some of my training. And I'll jokingly say to them, well, studies show that you're only going to retain 11% of what I say. So if I talk really fast, maybe you'll retain a lot of what I say. But it's the same concept. I mean, thinking back, I kind of wish that I thought about using all the senses and finding a way to do all the senses. So that is a fascinating approach to how you work in your practice with your clients. So that's awesome. That's awesome. So how long have you been doing this hypnotherapy now?
I've been doing hypnotherapy, private practice for 7 years.
7 years. That's a good length of time. Yeah.
And working with children before that for 8 years.
Oh, wow. So in your practice, you're seeing all kinds of people coming to you. You've mentioned a lot of things: stop smoking, weight loss, confidence, stress, trauma. I'm sure any of those emotions where you're a good resource for them to come to when they say, okay, I'm just not really feeling good out there, like I'm fitting into the world. You're a perfect person for them to go see.
Yeah. So I every day I run into people that tell me, like, oh, I remember just meeting someone that's very charismatic a couple days ago, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, you're so charismatic. You're just so easygoing, and just everybody's your friend. And I thought, that's awesome. I was like, you should go up and start, because I was out karaokeing with a whole bunch of friends, and I was like, you should go up and on stage and sing. And he's like, oh, no, I can't sing. And I thought, what do you mean? And he said that he has the stage phobia, right? And I thought, oh, that's so sad, because he's so charismatic.
Right.
But things like that, I mean, like, it's everyday things that people have, different little quirks. I thought, well, that's so easy to help somebody with something like that with hypnotherapy and the techniques I have with the muscle memory to release that so they're able to. And then I give them anchors, different type of anchors, to reinforce what it is that we're working on. Plus, they get recordings of the sessions to reinforce what we're working on as well. So
yeah. So thank you for saying that and sharing that story of this gentleman, because that's one of the points that I think that I really want to make here, is that you have those who are, like they're feeling like they're all messed up. They don't want to take a pill anymore. They're trying to find people to help them. And you're absolutely a resource for them. But you're also a resource for the person who says, I just want to do one step more. I just want to conquer one more thing. And so no matter who it is, they're able to come to you and get some guidance and assistance here.
Yes.
So when someone comes and works with you, how long are they working with you normally?
Depends on what we're working on. On average, it's about 3 to 6 sessions.
Okay.
I have people that I've been seeing since 7 years since I started that come because there's always things that come up. They're like, okay, I stopped smoking, you help me with that, but now I'm nervous because I have to go for this interview with this new job, and I have to do these tests, and I have test anxiety, different things. So there's people that's going to also always come, which is nice because it's they enjoy the session and it worked really well for them, so they return. So it's a huge compliment to get those returning clients as well.
Absolutely. When you have the word therapist in your title, no matter what form of therapist. There is also this preconceived idea with a lot of people of, oh man, I'm going to be going for months and months and months and months. And it's not always the case. It really depends upon what it is that you're working on and what you want to be working on. In this case, you can teach them the skills and walk them through enough to go through a few sessions, and they can move on and come back if something else comes to them. Awesome. Awesome.
So, majority of my clients, not majority, but a lot of my clients are already in therapy, in traditional therapy, and they notice, coming to me that they're able to move through certain blocks very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have a lot of other therapists and doctors that are also coming to learn some of these techniques, to find out what is it I'm doing, how are their clients getting better so much faster. And I think it's just because I took that extra step of working with muscle memory.
And talk about that a little bit more. What is muscle memory?
Muscle memory. So if you can imagine you had a really bad car accident and you were really hurt. Now, you're physically healed and you're able to move around and function normal, but every time you think about the accident, you have this stress that comes up in your body. And if you think about the accident while you're driving and somebody cuts you off, you might freak out, and you have all these things that happen. You have anxiety because of it. Well, if I can help you no longer feel that in your body where you're freaking out, where you're able to look at the situation and be calm and know exactly what best solutions are when you're calm and collected. So what I'm doing with muscle memory is to release that so they don't feel freaked out every time they see a car. Or in many cases, the trauma is like domestic violence or any kind of sexual abuse, things like that, where whenever they think about that person, they have this, they feel awful. They feel their knots in their stomach, the stress in their neck or back or shoulders, wherever. And so what I'm able to do with these techniques, and it's incredible how quickly it works, within just a matter of just a few minutes doing this technique, they're able to release the muscle memory where they no longer feel that tension in their body when they think about that memory. And it can go from a 10 being high to down to a 0 in just a matter of a few minutes. It's going to go down at least 50%, if not lower. So it's amazing because once they don't feel that anymore, they can actually then reframe and start feeling better, knowing that it's in the past, it's okay. Mm-hmm. You can let that go. So
curiosity, do you use that in some of the other programs that you're doing, maybe in conjunction with the hypnotherapy for like stop smoking or weight loss, where muscle memory in the movement, smoking, movement,
So what I do with that, like for stopping smoking, there's this craving and the anxious feeling that they get when they want a cigarette, and that little, heart might be pounding a little bit faster, or they might get just kind of a little antsy. I can help them think about the next cigarette and not feel that anymore. So it helps on that journey of being a non-smoker.
So they mentally
smoke
it? So
I'm sorry?
So it's like they're mentally smoking it, and so they get that satisfaction without actually having the nicotine coming in.
No. They mentally they no longer feel the feeling in their body, the anxious feeling for that cigarette. Mm-hmm. So that craving for the cigarette. So then therefore they don't
need it.
Smoke.
That's fantastic.
If you don't have a craving for it, you just don't smoke.
Yeah, exactly. That was with any addiction that's going on out there.
Yes, and that is, with any addiction, and I work with all forms of addiction.
And that's a good keyword for me to write down for when I post this on YouTube. So as I warned you on the phone the last time we spoke, that 20 minutes goes by so fast, and that was our time.
It does.
It's getting really close to the end. I want to make sure, is there anything that you wanted to make sure that we included in this video that we haven't discussed yet?
Yes. So I am now a certified instructor because I've had so many people asking to learn hypnotherapy and learn my technique because they see that it works really well. And so I've had a lot of other counselors and therapists and different holistic practitioners ask. And so I am now starting to teach hypnotherapy, and I will also be doing workshops to teach the different modalities that I created. Along with, I do workshops for forgiveness, workshops on manifesting. I do workshops on self-hypnosis and mindfulness. So I do all of those things, and I am starting to teach in August. So August 10th, I will be opening my doors for students.
Awesome. And they'll find that information on your website?
Yes.
Okay, and I'll be showing that. For those watching the video, I'll be showing it to you in just a moment. That's fantastic. I'm glad that you got it in. Thank you for sharing that. And
Thank you.
We'll see if we can get you some publicity for that. And those classes will take place in Denver?
Yes, my office is in Glendale. So
Okay.
the school will be starting in my office. Well, my part of my office, not in my office, but, in my building.
Okay, so for those of you who are in the Metro Denver area, anywhere where you can drive to Glendale, Colorado, this is something that you can take advantage of and get the training to add to your disciplines if you are a health and wellness practitioner. So that's fantastic.
Or if you want to just do this, yeah. Right. Or if you want to just do this, yeah.
Absolutely, it's for anyone. So this is where I'm going to jump into our closing here, and then we'll come back to you in just a quick moment. And, as I've mentioned, Melove is a provider in the You Define Wellness Network. And a lot of people are still like, well, what is the You Define Wellness Network? Well, we are a group of hundreds of health and wellness professionals across the United States. And we are growing by leaps and bounds. And one of the things that's different about us than maybe an online directory of health and wellness professionals that you might find just Googling around is that our providers are actually vetted. We will go in and do a criminal background investigation. We're looking at their disciplinary actions and stipulations against licenses. We're verifying their legal business. We're checking their reputation. So while it's not the end-all, be-all, just know that it is, you just have comfort in knowing somebody has looked at it. You still want to do your own due diligence before working with anyone. But one of the things that we're able to do with a network is create products. So we have an employee benefit program so people can access our network providers through a product in the workplace. We also have an education catalog for health and wellness education topics. It's packed with providers worldwide that you could take advantage of for lunch and learns for employees, community groups, and student groups. We also have a product for individuals to receive discounts on healthy living products and services. If you just present the card to one of our providers who accepts the card, a discount for you. And you can learn more about all of this on our website at youdefinewellness.com. And while you're there, we invite you to take a look at the Holistic Healing Crisis Support Team, because we are raising awareness with this defining wellness confab about this workplace crisis support team that we are forming, that we will hope to form in all the communities across the country where we have network providers, to be of service after a crisis in the workplace, because we know trauma resides in the body. And if left untreated, whether it's emotional trauma or physical trauma, it's going to crop up again days, weeks, months, years later. And we have people who can bring in to help for that transition. And if you're so inclined, make a donation to help support the formation of the Holistic Healing Crisis Support Team. But, okay, so I obviously have a goof on my end. That was a duplication of the slides. But here is Melove's information, her phone number and her website. I encourage everyone watching this to go to her website, check it out, look at her programs that she has available. And if you think that she can be of service to you, pick up the phone and give her a call. Now, I'm going to guess, and forgive me for just making an assumption here, if somebody called you and said, I don't know if you could help me or not, you'll give them a few minutes on the phone just to make that determination, correct?
I offer 30 minutes free consultations in person or on the phone. So, and they are able to book that online. So they have the access to my calendar, so they can find the time and date that works best for them to schedule that consultation.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Fantastic. One last question for you is, are you able to work with people who live across the country?
I do. I do actually have international clients. So I use FaceTime.
Okay.
And either if they're not comfortable with it, I can always just do it over the phone as well. And yes, I do help people all over.
So there you have it.
Clients all over.
we already have people from all over the country and the world watching our videos. So if you are one of those and you're not located in Colorado, just know this is someone who can still help you. So again, pick up the phone, call her. You know, there's a great little rewind feature on this video that you're watching. Just hit rewind. You're going to go back and you'll get her phone number and her website address. So with that being said, Melove, thank you. Any last?
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Any last words you want to say?
No, I think this is great, and I'm very happy to be part of this organization, and I look forward to us helping as many people as I can.
Thank you. And for those watching, no matter where you're watching this video, we invite you to go to our YouTube channel. Just search for You Define Wellness in the search bar at YouTube. You will find not only the 49 videos from the Defining Wellness Confab, but we have a lot of material on there from the past couple of years, and just nose around and you will find some great experts. So with that being said, everyone have a fantastic day. Again, thank you, Melove, and
thank you, Denise.
next video.